Good morning, students. Sit down, please. I'm glad to see you. I hope you are doing well today, so let us start our lesson. Firstly, I would like you to look at the photos, pictures, and see what they depict.
Activities.
Very well. Are there any differences between these two activities? Very well. Now, the question to you, do you prefer indoor or outdoor activities? Why? What are advantages and disadvantages of spending time outside? Polina, you're welcome.
I prefer outdoor activities because there's more advantages than disadvantages. At first advantage is that you play on air. Then it's more like positive for your body, and usually outdoor activities are more flexible and they're sports or some kind of, so it's more healthy.
No, thank you for your opinion. Now, I would like you to raise your hands, those students who prefer outdoor activities more than indoor activities. All right. And now raise your hand, those students who prefer indoor activities. Okay, Diane and Nikita, I guess. So I'm glad that most of you prefer outdoor activities because today we are going to speak about outdoor activities. Firstly, we are going to read a blog about an outdoor game. We will get acquainted with the strategy about multiple choice questions. We will also revise some prepositions of place and speak about whether you like to play the game or not. So let's get to the topic itself. I would like you to look at these two pictures, as well as you should look into your texts inside your books and say, what do you think these people are doing? Try to predict. Yes, please.
They're exploring geological sites.
Maybe, all right. Any other idea, Monika?
They're looking for something.
They are looking for something. How did you guess?
Why the stuff in their arms and
The stuff like what?
like a box
Mm-hmm.
and again special equipment.
Very well. Now, the task for you is to read the text, which means to look through the text quickly and to check your ideas. So, what are actually they doing?
They're geocaching. They're find the treasure hunt and
What do they use, Roman?
they use GPS navigator.
That is correct. Yes, you are quite right. They are geocaching. They find geocaches using their smartphone. Who can say what geocache is?
It's a kind of treasure hunting when you need to find boxes with prizes inside.
Okay, very well. Now, the task for us this lesson will be to study the reading strategy in order to know how to work with multiple choice questions. Now, firstly, tell me, what are multiple choice questions? How do you understand it?
It's the questions, the answers for which you have like multiple answers.
That is correct. So let's study the reading strategy that suggests us that multiple choice questions may test factual information, detailed or general, the writer's opinion, the writer's intention. You can sometimes, but not always, tell what a question is testing by reading the first part without the options. Do you agree that sometimes when we look at the question, we may just guess the answer, even if we don't know it, right? Yes. So the task for you will be to look at the questions in exercise 4 and answer the following questions. Which questions in exercise 4 ask about the writer's intention, the writer's opinion, factual information? In case if you are confused about the word intention, there is explanation for you. Intention means a plan in one's mind to do something. Intention. It is something that you are going to do. In other words, a writer's intention is the main idea of the text. Understand? Understood. Now, look at the questions in exercise 4 and say which question asks about the writer's intention.
I'm about on this GPS.
Well, not exactly. Look through. There are 6 questions in exercise 4. Find the one that asks about the writer's intention.
The writer has written the blog mainly to
Exactly. Which question is that?
6.
6. And how did you guess?
Because the writer has written the blog, it's his plan to
That is
write
correct.
about
Yes,
it.
you are quite right. So there were keywords that helped you to understand the meaning of the word intention and the intention of the writer. Next question. Which question asks about the writer's opinion? Yes, please.
The writer thinks that the most enjoyable kind of geocaching is when
All right. And the keyword was there?
the writer thinks.
Very well. There is one more question that asks about the writer's opinion.
The writer believes the found goal after dark event.
That is correct. Now, since we know what information we need to look in the text, I would like you to answer those questions after a while reading the text. So the questions here as follows. In your books you have the multiple choice options that you will need to study attentively. You may also follow this strategy like true or false to find the correct answer. Now, and be ready to find the proofs in the text in case I will ask. Start working. Now, I can see that you have finished, and I would like you to prepare your cards in order to answer the questions. So, if you're sure you know the answer, please raise a card with the appropriate letter. Question 1. To take part in geocaching, you need. Raise a card. Alright, let's see the answer on the desk. A mobile phone with GPS, which is answer A, and all of you are quite right. Now I would like you to prove that with the phrase from the text. Dominika, you're welcome.
It's a kind of treasure hunt game that uses a GPS device, usually a smartphone.
Very well. Next time, please speak a little bit louder. Question 2. The activity of geocaching. Could you please raise your cards? Well, let's see the correct answer. It's D. Has similarities with a 19th century game. I can see that the 2 students were incorrect. Now let's read the proof from the text to see the right answer. Nikita, could you please?
It begins around the year 27. However, similar games did exist in the past. For example, in the middle of 19th century, a game called letterboxing.
Very well. Now, girls, correct the mistake. Question 3. When you find a gift in geocache, you raise a card. Well, all of the answers are the same. Now let's see the correct answer. It's C. You are allowed to take the gift if you are replace it with something else. But now, could you please, Alena, read out the proof from the text?
You are welcome to take this, provided you replace it with something you have brought with you.
That is correct. Question 4. The writer thinks that the most enjoyable kind of geocaching is when? Raise a card. All right. see one student is different from the others. Let's see the correct answer. It's B. You have to find a series of geocaches. Nastya, could you please read out the proof from the text?
I have enjoyed the multi-page challenges the most.
Very well. Question 5. The writer believes the Fumble After Dark event. Raise a card, please. Okay, and we'll see the correct answer. It's B. Would be a very enjoyable event to attend. I'm sure you found these proofs, everybody. And the last but not the least question. The writer has written the blog mainly to. Raise your cards. Oh, I can see that one student is different from the others. Let's see the correct answer. It's A. Suggested. People try geocaching. So, Roma, could you please read out the proof from the text? Especially for those who was incorrect. Polina?
So why don't you get into geocaching too? And I might see you there.
Okay, that was great activity. Did you like it?
Yes.
Yes. Now get back to geocaching game to discuss it in pairs. So please split up in pairs. I would want you to use the adjectives that you can see on the boards as well as in your textbooks and share your opinion with your partner using the phrases. You can see them on the board. I would like you to start discussing. I will come to you and then we'll ask one player to share their opinion. Discuss.
Addictive and unhealthy, maybe. I find it exciting. It sounds really interesting. Something. What do you think?
I partially agree with you because I find it a bit exhausting because you can spend all day to find something, and as a result you can find or
I find it very boring and very exhausting. I think it sounds really exciting. Maybe, but I think it's very difficult. And
More exciting.
Very interesting, entertaining to just run, for example, in the woods and find treasures like the old ancient pirates. What do you think?
I like to play because it's exciting, yes, and it will be very healthy for you.
Thank you, students, for your discussion. That was really great. I knew something else about you, and I know that some of you would prefer to play the game of geocache, but some of you prefer not to because they still prefer indoor games. And in the end, I would love to ask you a question. What have you learned today?
There is a game called Geocache. It's very
Geocache.
Geocache. It's like interesting.
Interesting. Marina, what else have you learned?
We learned to answer multiple choice questions, and we revised prepositions, and now we can use them properly.
Very well. What can you do now? What else can you do now?
I can find information in text and use it in the test.
In the test, in multiple choice question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, students. Our lesson is getting to an over. I would like you to write down the home task for tomorrow. It is workbook page 20.